here's your conservative, but not bitter host, Todd Huff.
All right, feeling very secure in my manhood this morning as I sip from is this a mauve colored cup? Pink? Oh boy, that may be pushing it too hard. I'd call this mauve. She says it's pink. Anyway, welcome to the program. I'm your host, Todd Huff. Email todd@toddhuffshow.com. You can email me your thoughts, questions, feedback. Yes, even your adoration and praise will be accepted there. And appreciate from those of you that I hear from, some regularly. I always read them. Sometimes I just get behind on responding, and I really do appreciate your thoughts, and on social media as well. I prefer email because social media is whatever social media is. But anyway, I like connecting, and I appreciate the opportunity to hear from you. So, there's a lot, of course, going on. We've got this situation in Texas with the deep freeze, the power outages, people that are freezing to death. We had Ted Cruz actually leaving with his family to go on a trip to Cancun. Of course, catching political pushback, feedback, blowback, I should say, on leaving during a crisis like Texas is facing right now. And of course, there's the political components. There's folks out there that say, see, this is what happens. You got a bunch of Republicans. In fact, what is this? I saw who was this? Bear with me here. Yeah, Bette Midler. Anytime I think of Bette Midler, you know what I think of? I think of Seinfeld. I'm a Seinfeld fan. Bette Midler was in Seinfeld. I don't know, one of the middle seasons, probably like season 4. I don't know what season it was. Kramer was a big fan of Bette Midler. And George or Jerry, one of them was dating. Maybe it was George, was dating her backup when she was in town in New York City performing on Broadway. Anyway, that's what I think of when I think of Bette Midler. But Bette Midler implies, I'm looking here at the Daily Wire, that Texas winter storms are divine payback against Cruz and Cornyn, two senators from the state of Texas. So she says this in a tweet. This was tweeted out, a couple of days ago, earlier this week, February 16th. Inept is the wrong word. Talking about Senators Cruz and Cornyn. Inept is the wrong word. Hateful, vicious, cruel might all apply. I feel for the people suffering through this weather, but God doesn't seem to like Ted Cruz or John Cornyn. These two also never recognized that Joe won. If this isn't payback, I don't know what is. So payback is how Bette Midler, and I'm sure other leftists see this. This is God condemning Texas because of who they elected as their senators for, I guess, not supporting, not acknowledging that Joe Biden won the election, by having questions about the electors, by not voting for the Green New Deal. Because, hey, if we vote for the Green New Deal, then problems like this, I guess, suddenly stop. You have some people who point out the comparisons, with California has had power outages, rolling blackouts for a long time. Well, this is different. Of course, there's California. The weather's not like what it's been even as far as south. I mean, we're talking far, far south. Terribly cold temperatures, tragic, terrible situation that we have here. And then Ted Cruz decides, literally he and his family decide to go to Cancun to avoid this. Now, look, there's a lot of things about Ted Cruz that I like. I think Ted Cruz is generally on the right side of things. Oftentimes, especially when you compare him to the lunatics that we have on the radical left. But he's regretted this. He says it was a mistake to try to go to escape the cold as a political leader. I find it interesting as we look at this that if Trump was president, it would have been Trump's fault. But since Biden's president, it's not Biden's fault. It's Cruz and Cornyn's fault. I don't know, is this not also the fault of Democratic Congress people in Texas? There's a lot. I mean, there's a fair amount. There's not anywhere near what there are from the state of California, but there's still Democratic Congress people in Florida, or excuse me, Texas. So why, I mean, what's the, I don't know, why is it this fault lie at the feet of John Cornyn and Ted Cruz? Why is God singling out these two congressmen and punishing? And according to Bette Midler here, if we want to take her word as anything remotely close to serious, why would that be the way that God is choosing to punish Texans? I just don't necessarily follow here. Because they had questions about Joe Biden's electoral victory and in November? That's the reason? Does that seem to jibe with what you know? I know we have many of you that are Christians that understand and know the Bible. Is this I just think about when Israel had a king and God was either pleased or not pleased with the actions of a king. Now, of course, the senators aren't even kings. They're representatives of people. They're not the chief executive officer, so to speak, of the nation or even the state. That's Governor Abbott. But I don't ever remember God in the Bible saying, I oppose you because of some technicality, meaning, so you voted for this particular, say, I don't know, you had questions about something a ruler told you, so suddenly you're going to face dire consequences. God's view of what was acceptable and unacceptable in the Bible was not, I mean, these were big things. It was, are you promoting wickedness? Are you in favor of, I don't know, things like life and liberty? I mean, those seem to me, in fact, I'm reading a book right now. I say reading, I'm listening on Audible. By the way, did you know you can get this podcast on Audible? You can, The Todd Huff Show, totally free. But I'm reading this book, listening to this book on Audible, called The Politically Incorrect Guide to the American Revolution, written by Larry Schweikert and Dave Doherty. And they hit on some of these things throughout the American Revolution, and the Christian foundation of this country, which, by the way, is inescapable. The founders never wanted you to be forced to be a Christian or for there to be a state church, but to deny that this nation was founded on Judeo-Christian principles is absolutely undeniable. It is. It's undeniable. You have people, you have historians that try to leave these things out and to distort that history. But it is a pillar of what this nation was founded upon. And again, this is not about anything other than simply accepting the truth of how our nation was founded here. But just thinking about these things and how how leaders are held accountable, and Bette Midler says that Texans are being punished for their choice of Cruz and Cornyn here with this deep freeze for reasons she doesn't even articulate. She doesn't feel like she needs to articulate those. It's just so patently obvious in her mind. Ted Cruz and John Cornyn are evil because they're Republicans. Because as Republicans, of course, you know that they're racist and homophobic and all these sorts of things. They hate women. They want women barefoot, pregnant, and in the kitchen. This is the storyline. This is the narrative. And so anyway, that's what Bette Midler says. So a couple things I want to do today, and I got to take an early break because the first thing I want to do is share with you a bit of a conversation with one of our an organization that we partner with, Shepherd Community Center on the Near East Side of Indianapolis. And Jay Hite, who's the executive director there, we have him come on the program once a month, and they being Shepherd Community, focus on addressing poverty, really trying to address the issue of poverty in our local community here in central Indiana. And they have what they call 10 assets that they try to address and help people obtain these assets or grow these assets or develop these assets that help them overcome and break that cycle of poverty. So I want to do that first. Then I want to shift back and talk about the state of the Republican Party. And I want to talk about the fight for control of the Republican Party. And I want to play a little soundbite from Don Lemon, who, by the way, he never disappoints me with saying absurd and crazy, wacky things. This is from a couple days ago, and I've had this in the hopper. I haven't had a chance to get to it. But given just the focus here on blaming Ted Cruz and Cornyn for what's happening in Texas, this is God's judgment, says Bette Midler, and others on the left. This is the consequence for not embracing something like, say, the New Green Deal. This is for opposing Biden's electors and whatever else, questioning anything that the lovers of big government want to push down the throats of the American people. And you look at why they think that, and that's because of the false narrative being pushed about conservatives and Republicans. And there's this battle for control of the Republican Party. Are we going to return to the party that simply allows this to take place? The party before Trump? Are we going to be the party that fights back, defines ourselves, and insists upon having a leader who's not just conservative, but also who is strong and willing to walk through the fire and the daily lies that are being perpetrated by the radical left and their cohorts in the media? Dare I say fake news media? Anyway, timeout is in order here. Come back. First, want to play this conversation I had with Jay Haidt, Executive Director of Shepherd Community. And by the way, this is important. I think, and this is the reason Jay and I, we worked this kind of interview series out. I think one of the biggest problems, perceived problems, and I think I say this in our conversation, one of the biggest perceived problems that we have as conservatives is, and it's perceived because it's not a real problem, people just don't understand, but this issue of how do you deal with issues like poverty. If you're not going to have the government come in, swoop in, and fix it, we have to explain. Now, to you and I, that might be obvious, why the government cannot do that and why that doesn't work. But to some others, it doesn't. In fact, they think because we don't have a government top-down solution that we don't care about people. And so I think this needs to be addressed. That's why we do this regularly. And the other big issue here the rest of the day is talking about control of the Republican Party. Is this going to have Trump fingerprints on it? Are we going to, this is what the fight really is about. Is Trump going to be part of the Republican Party? Is he going to start a third party, which he's originally hinted that he might, but now seems to be wanting to help the Republican Party elect people who are conservatives and fighters, I suppose you could say. So, all that being said, I have to take a time out. Come back and share my conversation with Jay Haidt. You're listening here to the home of conservative, not bitter talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff, back here in just a minute.
Enrollment in Todd's Conservative Not Bitter University is now open. For a limited time, save $10 on Todd's first course, A Christian's Guide to Being a Patriot. For more information or to enroll, visit conservativenotbitter.com. Sponsored in part by Workforce Chaplains. Could your business or organization benefit from the services of a professional team of chaplains? Meet the needs of your employees and foster an excellent work environment with Workforce Chaplains. For more information, visit workforcechaplains.com today.
Hi, this is Caleb with Bluff Plumbing. Does your home need some plumbing updates? Bluff Plumbing is your solution. We specialize in updating old plumbing, everything from water heaters to well pumps, to underground leaks and everything that has to do with water entering and leaving the home, including water and sewer main excavations. We pride ourselves on old-fashioned customer service. Call Bluff Plumbing at 765-721-6789 or visit gluffplumbing.com. That's GLUFF plumbing.com. Call us today.
Our word can't be diluted because we are taught that a promise is a commitment in which you always follow through. No ifs, ands, or buts. So every time you walk through Greg Hubler Chevrolet doors, you can count on the advice and expertise we provide you. Because when we make a promise, we keep it. Greg Hubler Chevrolet. Promise kept. Visit GregHublerChevy.com. Find new roads.
Family owned since 1973, Edwards Equipment at 1375 East Main Street in Danville is ready to meet your equipment needs by selling, renting, and servicing several makes and models of lightweight residential or heavy-duty commercial equipment. We carry and service top-name brands like Ferris, Kubota, Steel, Gravely, Honda Power, Land Pride, and more. Visit edwardstractor.com or call 317-745-6427 to check out our clearance specials today. At Edwards Equipment, we don't just sell you any piece of equipment, we sell you the right piece of equipment.
Are your health insurance premiums making you sick? There is a cure. With the Pro-Life Health Plan, your savings could be as much as 60%. The Pro-Life Health Plan allows you to enjoy the freedom of choosing any doctor, any hospital, anywhere. And their enrollment is open year-round. Just give Eric a call at 888-448-5370 or visit them online at isellhealth.com. Better coverage at a better cost.
The printing industry has changed a lot since we opened for business in 1931, but what our clients expect from us really hasn't changed. Quality print, fast turnaround, and competitive prices. We've learned a lot at Moeller Printing over 86 years and 3 generations. Why not put that experience to work for you? Call 317-353-2224 and mention discount code RADIO to receive 10% off your first order. Call Moeller Printing at 317-353-2224.
Have you seen the price of custom cabinetry and countertops lately? If you're looking for quality, affordable remodels, call Carriage House Woodworking. Our helpful professionals will walk you through every step of the process. We're offering a free sink base with qualifying purchases. Just enter CHWEINC.com/Todd or call 317-406-3042. Call Carriage House Woodworking. You won't have to spend your kids' inheritance just to upgrade your kitchen.
Does your business have a plan for social media marketing? Are you reaching the right audiences through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and the list goes on? Are you learning from the data? Jarbo can help. Our team doesn't just come in and tell you how to be successful. We help you execute and measure your sales and marketing efforts. Give us a call at 317-834-6560 or visit us online at jarbomarketing.com. That's jarbomarketing.com. Make social media work for you.
Business leaders, are your employees satisfied with their jobs? Do they enjoy coming to work and feel valued? Workforce Chaplains can help. Locally owned, we work with organizations to provide holistic care to their employees. I'm Marcus Schrader, President of Workforce Chaplains, and we offer your team a 24/7 support system that positively affects your company's culture and productivity. With our personalized pricing and diverse support system, we handle the issues that you wish you had time for. To learn more, visit us at workforcechaplains.com.
Well, as we do each month, we speak with Jay Hite, the Executive Director of Shepherd Community Center on the east side of Indianapolis. And Jay's been kind enough to make it a habit to come in and to share with us really what he and his organization focus on doing, which is, meeting the needs of those in his neighborhood, in our neighborhood here in central Indiana. And Jay's been reviewing with us 10 what he calls assets to help people break the cycle of poverty. And last month we talked about the first. Today we'll talk about the second. Jay, it's a pleasure to have you back. How are you, sir?
It's good to be with you. It's just a little chilly.
Just a tad bit, yeah, and a little bit snowy out there too. So if you can really quickly, the first asset for someone that may have missed last week's or last month's discussion, what is that first asset? And let's build off of that and talk about
we believe it's faith, that faith gives you a hope for the future. And so we don't require you to accept our faith, but we do believe it's important for you to know what drives us, and that the hope that we have is our faith.
Absolutely. And we talked in depth about last time, and folks can go back and pull that episode if they want to hear more. But today we're talking about the second asset. And again, to kind of set this up, I want to say that I think one of the perceived, and I think it's just perceived because
people don't have a proper understanding sometimes. Perceived weakness of conservatism is, how do we address some of these societal issues like poverty? Some people, I think, erroneously claim that conservatives don't care about folks and, everybody for himself sort of mentality, but that's not true. We just don't think that these things should come from government. So you've got these 10 assets. We talked about faith last time. Today we're going to talk about health. So tell us about the second asset and why that's important for breaking the cycle of poverty.
Well, health undermines so many things in our lives. If we don't have access to health care, it's a very difficult journey. I say it's our job to help our families move from sick care to health care. And, it can start with healthy eating. And they say the healthiest way to eat is to shop on the outside of your grocery store, just to go along the sides of the inside of the store. That's where you're going to find your meats and your fresh vegetables and those types of things. But that's very expensive. And so healthy food and access to healthy food is difficult. That really undermines so much of it. Access to health care and being able to get to the doctor. They're telling us that in the next 5 years, many things that happen in the hospital will happen in the doctor's office. And the things that happened in the doctor's office will happen in our home. And we're already seeing that. COVID has forced us, and maybe some of your listeners have experienced a televisit to their doctor. And you click in and you talk to your doctor, and maybe they prescribe medicine and they go through all of these things. Well, that assumes you have connectivity. And there's still many folks who do not have access to the internet. And so telehealth is difficult. Or, as we're seeing with the COVID issue, the things that have to have connectivity to sign up, right? To be able to go get your shot. And what if you don't have a device? What if you don't know how to do that? I can remember countless times in the later years of my father's life, living in an assisted living place, how many times we had to reset his cable for him because he hit the wrong buttons. And we would be somewhere, and I don't know what he had done, and you try to figure those things out. Well, just imagine trying to navigate through an iPad if you haven't been around an iPad, and to know how to talk to, and to trust that you can talk to your doctor that way. We have to prepare our folks, and so we really want to help, and we want them to have health care, not just sick care, and to help them be able to get to their appointments. We've seen a dramatic impact that COVID has had on the minority community and disproportionately impacted that. And for many reasons, it's because of years of poor access to health care that has been seen then in chronic conditions. I think one of the things we've seen in our neighborhood here in the Near East Side is a lot of folks that would have normally been going to their doctor were afraid to go, didn't have the ability to go to their doctor during COVID. And so they are now having issues with their chronic health issues, heart issues. We've lost multiple folks who died from their chronic issues, as well as many who died from COVID. And so these are the things when you have years and years of lack of access and the inability to navigate. I think of this. My father had a rare disease, a type of cancer, and I would pick him up in Dayton, Ohio, and we would drive to Columbus, Ohio, to the James Cancer Center, where a specialist, one of the few in the United States, was treating him. And my dad would tell me all the heart issues he was having and all of the other challenges he was having. We'd get there, and the doctor would walk in, and he'd say, "John, how are you doing?" And my dad'd say, "Oh, pretty good." I'm like, "What?" and so sometimes there is this intimidation that comes in what I call the fear of the white coat, and that the power of the white coat, I'm just not going to say things, and so we're trying to help them realize, doctors and nurses, God has blessed them with knowledge and with access to medicines and things that can help them. And we need to engage with them. But it really hinges on having access to that.
So when you say access, is it that there's not clinics and offices that are close enough? Is it that there's a financial obstacle? Is it that there's a lack of comfort and familiarity to where folks are maybe intimidated, or just they don't have the education to know to go? Like, what does that encompass, I guess? What do you mean by access?
It's being able to have a clinic nearby when 50% of my neighbors don't have a vehicle. How do you, how do you get there? And you call because your little girl has an earache and they say, well, we're full. And so what do you do as a parent? Well, my little baby's crying. I'm going to do whatever I can. And then they end up in the ER and people say, well, why do you go to the ER? Well, I called my doctor. And we've actually been advocating and doing trainings with clinics to say, help them find another clinic to go to that has an opening. That many times people in poverty live in the present. They're living in today. And so they don't think of making appointments in the future. And so it's really our job to help advocate and train the medical community how to communicate better with our neighbors. And then, before COVID, we were transporting people to their appointments, making sure they got there, reminded them, making sure they're taking their medicine the way they supposed to. I remember a situation where I showed up to check on a little boy who'd been in the hospital. He had got a strep throat, but it had gone untreated. He ended up with strep through his body. He almost died. I go and he's laying there and he has vomited. He's got diarrhea and he's laying on the floor. And I said, what's wrong with him? She said, I don't know. And I said, are you giving him his medicine? She said, yeah, I'm giving it to him 6 times a day. My wife, early on in our marriage, she was trained as an RN. So I called her and I said, she said, there's no antibiotic you take 6 times a day. And this mother who did not know how to read was giving her child twice the amount of antibiotic. And it was just devastating, this little guy. And so there's lots of challenges that come into this healthcare. It's really on us to try to help build those bridges so that they can access, get there, and then to continue to help the healthcare officials know how to best connect with and be able to provide the care that our neighbors need.
So if someone's listening right now and they think, maybe this is, clicking, and they understand the problem, the scope of the problem, or maybe they think, this really speaks to me. I feel this compassion to want to step in and help folks get the health care that they need, help these families in this particular area. What are some things that they could do,
Well, I think they could volunteer. One of the things we try to do is if someone's taking medicine, make sure we're calling and following up to see how they're doing and how they're feeling. The real epidemic that continues to ravage our communities is loneliness, and so we want to stay connected to them. We're going to be a site. We're working with the folks in the hospital systems to be a site for vaccine for COVID, and we're going to be utilizing volunteers to help us do that. And we'll probably be doing that for some time. And so maybe somebody might want to volunteer for that. But it also goes to this. One of the biggest needs that folks, our neighbors have, is around dental care. And then we know that dental care has a huge impact on the rest of your health. And so maybe there's a dentist who says, you know what, I'll see 2 patients a month for free. I'll see 1 a month. It's too expensive to build an office, but if we had folks who would say, I'll agree to, and we have some dentists who help us that way. That's another big issue medically is around your mouth and your teeth.
Well, Jay, I admire what you're doing. Keep up the good work. I'm always, this is this is very interesting. I think it's very important to step in and to fill these gaps that we have in solving some of these problems, and I appreciate what you and Shepherd do. So, again, if folks want to sign up or volunteer, tell folks how they can do that specifically. Where do they go? How do they do that?
They can go to shepherdcommunity.org, and there's a volunteer page, how to get engaged. They can call us at 317-375-0203.
Jay, I appreciate it very much, sir. Thank you so much, and God bless you, and thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you, Todd.
Had enough of the cancel culture? Why not fight back by directly supporting the advertisers who make this program possible? Visit supportouradvertisers.com to give those who help bring this program to you the opportunity to earn your business. Find out more about businesses like Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing, Care to Change, and Interior Construction Services by visiting supportouradvertisers.com today.
Are you tired of manually opening the gate every time you pull in the drive, especially during the freezing cold, pouring rain, or hot, humid weather? Then Gatekeeper Services has your solution. They offer affordable residential and commercial motorized units for your gated properties. Veteran-owned with over 50 years' experience in motorized gate sales and repairs on any make or model, and with numerous entry control options, Gatekeeper Services takes pride being certified in both automated gate system design and operator installation. Simplify your life today by calling 317-714-4061.
Geothermal tax credits are back, making this the perfect time to install a new Climate Master geothermal system. Take advantage of this limited time 26% tax credit and begin cutting your heating and cooling bills immediately. Visit indianageothermal.com/info to get your free Climate Master information kit or call 317-829-1490. Visit indianageothermal.com/info or call 317-829-1490. Geothermal, it's cheaper than you think.
You rely on your vehicle every day. It's not a member of the family, but you spend as much time with it as most family members. You wouldn't take your family to just any doctor, so don't trust your vehicle to just any repair service. At Raymond's Auto and Truck Repair in Plainfield, we have well-trained, caring technicians that have the expertise to get you back on the road. For 25 years, we've been servicing personal, commercial, and fleet vehicles. Give us a call at 317-838-7112 for the car service you deserve.
There is plenty to worry about these days. If you're working with Blake Hornsby at Northwestern Mutual, your retirement and financial security doesn't need to be one of them. Blake is a time-tested financial advisor with over 20 years of experience at Northwestern Mutual. For an independent review of your financial planning needs, call Blake and mention the Todd Huff Show for a free initial consultation. Call 317-215-8322 or visit blakehornsby.com. Invest in your peace of mind with Blake Hornsby at Northwestern Mutual.
Healthcare is expensive and complicated. Did you know that as a Christian business owner, it is possible to provide access to affordable health benefits for your employees? Remodel Health has helped employers across the United States save over $22 million in the past 3 years. Our innovative approach allows your employees to have the health benefits they need at a cost you can afford. Go to remodelhealth.com/Todd to help your employees find the health care they deserve. Remodel Health. Rethink employee health benefits.
Fireplaces can be beautiful and even essential in heating some homes. But did you know they could be dangerous to your family if not properly maintained? Chimneys need to be cleaned and inspected annually. My family and I had Smalling Masonry inspect ours. They are friendly, informative, on time, and helped us use our wood-burning stove more efficiently. Call Christian-owned Smalling Masonry today at 317-903-8121 and mention my name, Todd Huff, for a 15% off chimney inspection and sweep.
Wallace Construction is a family-owned business with 45 years' experience in asphalt, concrete, and seal coating. At Wallace Construction, our wide variety of experience and top-notch customer service have helped us build a strong reputation in central Indiana. But we don't rest on that reputation. We build it, one job at a time. If you have an upcoming project, call us at 317-422-5356. That's Wallace Construction, 317-422-5356, and ask for Richard or Roger.
Welcome back, folks. Hope you enjoyed that conversation I had with our friend Jay Height, Shepherd Community. Again, they do great work, and I really think that they, from the conservative perspective, and I'm not pulling them into politics, but just what they do is a great help towards helping those in need without involving our government, and that is a good thing. They do great work. So, anyway, by the way, I wanted to mention, too, this program is brought to you in part by our friends at Carriage House Woodworking. Carriage House Woodworking, there's 2 locations. One is in Plainfield. The other is in Martinsville. And they can help you find affordable cabinets and countertops. And also, if you're a contractor and looking for someone to help with these particular needs on your jobs, consider reaching out to our friends at Carriage House Woodworking. You can find out more information by visiting them online, chweinc.com, CHWE, Carriage House Woodworking, Inc.com, and you can find out more information about them. So I appreciate them. I appreciate all the sponsors and advertisers that make this program possible. So I told you before I shared the interview with Jay, our conversation there, that I was going to do one other thing today, and that was talk about really the state of the Republican Party and what happens next for the Republican Party. And there's a lot of articles, a lot of things going on out there, pertaining to who's leading the party and what direction it goes and all this. In fact, you'll find headlines like this. Fox News from a couple days ago, Trump trashes Mitch McConnell in searing new statement. You'll find Jeff Flake. Oh, yes, Jeff Flake writing an opinion piece at CNN. I always have to throw in Jeff Flake. This guy is something else to me. But Jeff Flake writing an opinion piece on CNN says this headline or the title, I guess, of the piece: "It's time for the Republican Party to move on from Trump." Trump says, of course, and this is part of Trump's remarks about Mitch McConnell, but Trump says the GOP will not win with Mitch McConnell. And according to a survey, which again, survey, poll, whatever you think about these things, but nonetheless, this is being reported by the National Pulse, Trump approval rises amongst Republicans following the impeachment proceedings. 59% of Republican voters said that they want Trump to play a major role in their party going forward. That's up 18 percentage points from a Morning Consult poll conducted on January 7th, and an increase of 9 points from a follow-up poll on January 25th, before the impeachment trial begins. This is began, I should say. This is from a Political article. I'm looking at the National Pulse. They're the ones that where I found this, but Politico is the one that reported on it. So there's this, and we knew this is by the way never going to end. This is. I wish more people, and I know the vast majority of you know this, but this I've said this before. I say this to friends. I say this to family. I've said this to my wife. We have to fully accept that we are going to be engaged in political, I'll say conflict, nonviolent, for those of you that don't like too many words out there that could be misconstrued as something else. So it's completely nonviolent, just standing up and defending, articulating, fighting. Dare I say fighting? Can I say that? Is that inciting a riot? But fighting for the principles of conservatism, standing up for the foundational principles of this country. This is going to be around for the rest of our lives. I don't even care how old you are listening to my voice, except that this is never going to go away. There will be ebbs and flows. There will be ups and downs, peaks and valleys. But this fight for constitutional conservatism is never, ever going to end. And I'll tell you why. It's because the nature of government is to grow. The nature of government is to grow. In order to keep it where it needs to be, we have to continually fight for that idea. We have to fight the urge that people have to grow this, to make it to, and it's grown massively. In fact, it's grown so massively that the average person, if they understood what the founders envisioned this nation to be, what limited government really looks like, they probably would almost pass out. Maybe they would pass out. I don't know. Like being at a Obama rally circa 2007 when he was making people faint in the audience. I don't know. But I do know this. This fight is not going anywhere. And there's multiple fights. One of those fights is who's going to control the Republican Party. Is it going to go back to what it was before, run by a bunch of wimps and weenies who are all too eager to compromise with the left and to, like the Mitt Romneys of the world, like the Jeff Flakes of the world, compromise in the sense, and I'm not saying all compromise is bad, but I mean when you compromise principles, it is bad. Are we going to go back to that when we go liberalism light on all of these things? Or are we going to actually have a fight in the party? Are we going to have someone like Trump, or maybe it still is Trump? I don't know. In 2024, and we've got a midterm election here in a couple of years as well. But anyway, talk about those things after the break. Got to take a quick time out, though. Sit tight back here in just a minute.
Stay on top of the nonsense our colleges are subjecting students to today by listening to Todd's monthly interview series with Matt Lamb, assistant editor of The College Fix. Listen at toddhuffshow.com/college. Brought to you by Apprentice University. With so many societal changes, everyone's talking about apprenticeships and college debt. Businesses seek employees with practical problem-solving skills. Visit apprentice.university to learn about our demanding academics and paid apprenticeships in excess of tuition. No debt, in-demand skills, Christian community.
This is the sound of your typical do-it-yourselfer in completely over his head.
For heating, plumbing,
and electrical done right.
Call Mr. Quick. Call Mr. Quick. Dial the number, spell the words. For on time.
Hey, Indianapolis. By now, you've probably heard about Jody Dowdle with Midwest Tax Group. Jody and his team are experts at helping you prepare your personal or small business tax returns. You can count on Midwest Tax Group to get every deduction possible and work for your higher refund. And not just on this year's taxes. They'll check your prior returns for any tax savings you may have missed for free. Are you behind on filing your returns? They can file past due returns and help negotiate with the IRS, too. They complete most tax returns within a week and charge an affordable flat fee, no hourly billing. And as their client, you can consult with the team at Midwest Tax Group year-round at no charge. Midwest Tax Group has 4 office locations in Castleton, Greenwood, Plainfield, and Greenfield, with evening and weekend appointments available. Schedule your appointment today at 317-288-5260. That's 317-288-5260. Or visit their website at mwtaxgroup.com. Midwest Tax Group can help you more than any piece of software ever could.
If you own a rental property, you know the hassles of marketing, renting, collecting, and the handling of maintenance and repairs. One call to Zuluscape can put an end to your property management headaches. Zuluscape has over 20 years of experience helping landlords throughout central Indiana and taking the stress out of owning a rental. From A to Z, let Zuluscape handle it all so you can enjoy owning a rental instead of hating being a landlord. Give us a call at 317-663-8485 or visit our website at Zuluscape.com.
Hunting, fishing, bows, guns, ammo, safes, and more. The Outdoorsman Sports Shop in Greenwood has all the gear you need for your outdoor experience. We have a huge selection of brands that other shops don't carry, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to answer all your outdoor adventure questions. At Outdoorsman Sports Shop in Greenwood, you can even hone your archery skills at our indoor shooting range. Find us online at outdoorsmansportshop.com. So get outdoors, but bring the right gear.
There's a lot going on in the world today, and with so much going on, it's sometimes hard to maintain balance. Jesus said in John 16:33, "In this world you will have tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome the world." I'm Pastor Jeff Floyd of the Martinsville First Church of the Nazarene. To experience how life can be better with Jesus, come worship at M1 Church at 10 a.m. this Sunday, 1609 John R. Wooden Drive in Martinsville, or catch our live stream service on Facebook at M1 Church. For more information, visit m1nazarene.org. Have a great day today in Jesus.
Need to refresh or renovate your commercial space? Call Interior Construction Services today, providing the highest level of quality construction at a competitive price. Our service-minded team is here to deliver the detail-oriented environment you're looking to create, on time and on budget. Call us at 317-991-4660 or visit us online at interiorconstruct.com. Interior Construction Services. Progressive, productive, professional.
Welcome back. Want to play this soundbite, this clip from Don Lemon. Good old Don Lemon. Don Lemon is basically, I just want you to, well, I'm having a hard time finding this thing here, but Don Lemon is basically, doing what the left often does with the Republican Party. Don Lemon is attacking Republicans for being, here it is. Took me a second to find this guy. But he's having a conversation, again, is like, I guess is when they pass this off between segments. But he's portraying the Republican Party. He's praising, in part, Adam Kinzinger. Adam Kinzinger's in the group that wants to kind of return, this is my interpretation, return us back to the leadership that's not Trump, right? So I want you to hear this little back and forth.
Something does not exist, and that you're not doing it.
And I'm sure that you've seen Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger, who voted to impeach, he voted to convict Donald Trump in his second impeachment trial for inciting the riot. He's now being shunned by his own family, and it's not just a matter of sort of a private division. It is a letter. I mean, it is something that they wanted to do very publicly. This has been signed by 11 of his family members, and granted, this is a big family in Illinois. So these are, family members he might see at events here or there, right? But they're family members. And they wrote this: Adam, oh my, what a disappointment you are to us and God. We were once so proud of your accomplishments. Instead, you go against your Christian principles and join the devil's army, Democrats and fake news media. And I think, one of the reasons, Don, that this stands out so much to people is because there are families all across the country that have been divided like this. I mean, they have just been torn apart by what is true and what isn't true, and having different opinions of that.
Here's Don.
There's so much there when it comes to that letter, Adam Kinzinger, and Republicans and Trump supporters as a whole. Trump supporters have taken over the Republican Party. The Republican Party can no longer say that they don't agree with the insurrectionists, with the bigots, with the racists, with the white supremacists, with the anti-Semites, because that's what they have clearly shown through their actions, especially over the last 5 years.
Because we didn't impeach?
With him showing that letter, it's, first of all, they should probably figure out what Christianity really means.
Oh, tell us, Don.
I think that I would love to ask Adam Kinzinger that, but he has so far refused to come on the show and take questions. But I would like to ask him, where were he, and I'm glad that he's doing it, don't get me wrong, and I think we should take people where they are and then move forward. But I want to know where Republicans like Adam Kinzinger and Liz Cheney and all of the others, where they were when this stuff was festering in the Republican Party for years, where people who even before them, when it was the welfare queens and the Willie Hortons and the Tea Party and the effigies of Barack Obama and the bones in his nose and the wasn't born in this country, the birtherism, and all of that, and all of the little things that led up to this moment, where were they? And I think that people need to really answer for those things, because we have to start at the beginning. We can't just start with what happened on January 6th, because that was a symptom, a culmination of something.
Okay, I'm just out of time. But that's how they portray this. That's how they're going to portray this. That's how they determine, how they look at you. That's how they look at me for those that aren't part of the establishment wing of the Republican Party. So timeout is in order. Got to take a break, come back and wrap up. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff. Back in just a minute.
Like what you hear on Todd's show? Why not get more by signing up for Todd's free Semi-Sweet Morsels of Truth newsletter? To subscribe, visit toddhuffshow.com/subscribe or text HUFF to 31996.
All your life, you've planned and taken care of the people you love. They always knew you had a plan. Taking care of your final wishes will give them one final gift. Buying your headstones direct through Thomas Monument saves your loved ones additional stress during a difficult time and saves money by cutting out the middleman. Call 317-244-6525 or go online to thomasmonument.com to understand why families have trusted us since 1962.
When life is hard for the women you care about, there is help with issues such as widowhood, anxiety, depression, or abuse. They don't have to go through it alone. Peace Restored is there to walk with women through the journey. Peace Restored helps women through free mentoring, counseling, and education. When life is hard, Peace Restored is there to help women you care about find hope and healing. To learn more, visit peacerestored.net.
What if your bank treated you like a person instead of an account number? What if you could sit across from the person you are opening an account with or requesting a loan from and have an actual conversation? You may be thinking, Todd, that's crazy talk. Well, not at Citizens Bank. Come visit them in Monrovia and meet Nick Gibson, their new branch manager, and the rest of their staff. Or give them a call at 317-831-0110. Citizens Bank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Hey Indy, Sid here with Kill a Dent Removal. We specialize in a paint-free repair process known as PDR. Our certified master technicians remove dents and dings of all shapes and sizes, including hail damage, with zero body fillers, zero painting, and zero diminished value. Most repairs are completed the same day, many even while you wait. Check us out at killadentremoval.com. And remember, folks, don't paint your car, go PDR.
Our sense of smell stimulates memory and emotion. A scent can seemingly transport us to another place in time. Homemade, hand-poured candles and melts from spur-of-the-moment creations will give your nose the experience the rest of your body is missing during any season of the year. Crackling firewood, fresh-cut grass, Macintosh apple, and even racing fuel are some of their over 200 engaging fragrances. Visit spurofthemomentcreations.com and enter coupon code TODD at checkout to receive 15% off your order today.
Are you concerned about your investments? Intrepid Financial has been educating, customizing, and servicing Hoosier investment portfolios since 1998. Our family-owned and operated business builds strong bonds with our clients. When you call, we answer the phone, always ready to walk you through your investment strategy. Intrepid means without fear. We want our clients to be fearless, to feel secure with their investments. Give us a call at 317-818-1776 or visit us online at intrepidfinancial.com.
Why would you call a company called Commercial Service for your home heating, cooling, and plumbing? Same question I had. Because they have provided over 70 years of quality service and trained products for both homes and businesses in Central Indiana. It's hard to stop Commercial Service, and it's hard to stop a train. Give them a call. I'm glad I did.
Call Commercial Service at 812-339-9114 or online at commercialservice.com. Commercial Service. Commercial-grade service for your home.
Welcome back. I want to say really quickly here, I just want to say thank you for those that that reached out to me yesterday. Yesterday was a very, very difficult program, and I really tried, and I'm sorry for, I don't know, not being able to completely hold myself together a couple of times when talking about Rush. But his impact on me, on this nation, is truly profound. It is profound, folks. I find myself wondering, without a Rush Limbaugh, would there have been a Donald Trump? Would there have been a Fox News? Would there have been any semblance of a conservative movement. I don't know. He definitely impacted it in a mighty, mighty way, to the point where it may not even exist today without his influence and fingerprints. So anyway, I've got to go. SDG, have a great weekend. See you Monday. Take care.
All right, here we go. $100 down, $200
I went to my first firearms auction a few years ago. It was hosted by TJ Freege, one of my good friends from high school, who is a champion auctioneer and one of the best in the business. In spite of objections from liberal legislators, I walked away with a .22 rifle and a few boxes of ammunition. And I had a great afternoon with my grandpa that I won't soon forget. If you've ever wondered what treasure you could find in an auction, visit FreegeAuctioneers.com and take a look at their upcoming Central Indiana auction schedule. That's Freege, F-R-E-I-J-E, auctioneers.com. Visit FreegeAuctioneers.com.
Hi, I'm TJ Freege, owner and lead auctioneer at Freege & Freege Auctions and Marketing. I invite you to come see the power of live auctions. It's fast, it's fun, it's transparent, and it's the absolute best way to ensure you get fair market value for your asset today. Get results, go auction.
As a listener of this program, I have no doubt that you embrace the value of hard work, honesty, and integrity. And when you have the opportunity to work with a company that fully embraces and shares these values, I'm sure you jump at it. Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing is just that type of company in Central Indiana. Jeff and Jod Woods have a team of professional technicians here to help tune up your furnace or install a quality new train system. And they're also here to fix those nasty plumbing problems that seem to happen at the absolute worst time. So the next time you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling need, give the good folks at Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing a call. Call 317-831-5279. That's 317-831-5279. Or visit economyheatingandair.com.